Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with yet another episode of my new comics haul. This is a series that I put out every single Wednesday whenever I go to my local comic shop and pick up all the books I'm going to be getting this week. So this week was quite a big one. I've got 9 different issues and a bunch of them are like $5 books that are oversized. Check out this nice stack, 1 from Image and 8 different issues from Marvel this week. So now that we've got the comics all the way out of the bag, we've got to get the bag out of the way. Alright, now that that's dealt with, let's get right into these books. So first off from Image Comics, we'll get it out of the way, because I've only got 1 issue from them this week. This one is Nocterra, issue number 4. So yeah, I've been enjoying the series so far. It's been pretty solid. The idea of this concept in this post-apocalyptic world is probably the best part. The writing has been pretty good for the most part in my opinion, but basically Nocterra is set in this post-apocalyptic world in which the whole world went dark. They call it the Big PM, but people ended up having to live using battery-powered lights and candles, things like that. And slowly they discovered that if somebody stays out in the dark for too long, they transform into this creepy monster. The main character that we see on the cover here is a truck driver, so is her brother who accompanies her, and they basically just ship people who pay them to go from one place in the world to another and protect them from the creatures along the way. In the first 3 issues, we saw a scientist and his granddaughter hire the main character and her brother to ship them to this place where they say that there's natural light. He even showed them like a sunburn that he got. They don't believe him obviously because it's been like 20 years since the Big PM hit. We'll see how they can progress this story and flesh out this world more. It's pretty interesting so far, so I'm definitely going to continue getting this series for now. This is Nocterra number 4. I'm excited to read this one. And now on to Marvel Comics. This is really the good stuff this week. We've got like 2 different events kicking off, but we're going to start it off with probably the most important thing this week, which is the Hellfire Gala. It's finally starting. There's 3 different issues from the Hellfire Gala coming out this week, but it's basically just an X-Men Dawn of X event in which mutant kind is unveiling its plans for Krakoa. So the first one here, I'm just going to be showing you guys them based on the order in which they're supposed to be read. This one is Marauders, number 21. We see on the cover there Emma Frost in her weird design outfit. All of these mutants are having new redesigns and special outfits for the Hellfire Gala because it's a fancy event. I've looked inside these issues a little bit and they're even inviting like non-mutants to Krakoa for the first time. So Avengers and different actual real-life celebrities I've even heard are going to be coming to this gala, and then everything will unfold from there. So I'm not a regular reader of Marauders, but I'm wanting to get all of these Hellfire Gala issues to really get the scoop on what's going to lead into this new X-Men team that it's supposed to go into. So this is an oversized issue to kick everything off, and it's the first issue you're supposed to read. Written by Jerry Duggan with art by Matteo Loli. They're just the regular creative team on the Marauders book. We'll see how they can kick it off. That's Marauders number 21. Let's get on to the other Hellfire Gala issues. Part 2 of this Hellfire Gala event is X-Force issue number 20. So I actually am getting the X-Force ongoing series. It's one of the few Dawn of X-Men titles that I'm still getting these days. Because of the creative team, they've been doing a really good job on it. It's written by Benjamin Percy, and art on this one is by Joshua Cassara. So you can see on the cover there, the X-Force are basically the people who guard the Hellfire Gala throughout this event. They're like the gatekeepers, and they make sure to keep out who needs to be kept out and let in who needs to be let in. But they've all got their outfits also, which just look like black jumpsuits. Not the most creative choice for these X-Force costumes, but I always like to read X-Force, so we'll see how they can actually tie it into Hellfire Gala and how all of these issues will tie together in general. And then to close off this first week of the Hellfire Gala, I've got Hellions issue number 12. This is the last issue you're supposed to read in the official reading order for this Hellfire Gala. I'm also not a regular reader of Hellions, although I have heard some pretty good things about it. So yeah, the Hellions are basically a team of like the evil mutants who were invited to Krakoa. Of course, when Professor X sent out his mental message to all mutant kind, he invited anyone to Krakoa, even like Magneto and Apocalypse, different villains who have badly affected them in the past. So the Hellions include like Mr. Sinister, Wild Child, Havoc, some more well-known X-Men villains, and some that I had honestly never heard of. It's written by Zeb Wells with art by Steven Segovia. They're just the regular creative team on this issue. So I'm super excited to dive into Hellfire Gala. I really don't know what to expect because the whole point of it is that they're unveiling future plans for mutant kind in it, so it's pretty mysterious. And definitely look out for a review of these 3 issues, the Marauders, X-Force, and Hellions, which I'll be putting out probably tomorrow or the day after. I'm hoping to make this a series through all of June when these issues come out, just reviewing the issues every single week of Hellfire Gala until the event is over. Alright, and then next up I've got another oversized issue, and this is kicking off another event from Marvel. It's Infinite Destinies issue number 1. So I've made a couple of videos talking about Infinite Destinies at this point. One just showing you guys the covers and everything, and one actually talking about the history of the Infinity Stones up until this point. But yeah, this is centering around the Infinity Stones. It's been a couple of years since Infinity Wars, which was the last series specifically centered around the Infinity Stones that we've gotten. And that was written by Jerry Duggan. He wrapped up his entire Infinity Saga, and now it's Jed MacKay's turn. He's the writer on this issue, and basically he's going to be the main writer through Marvel's plan for the Infinity Stones for these next few years. But Infinite Destinies is spanning across a bunch of different heroes' annuals. It's going to be touching a bunch of corners of the Marvel Universe, like they're doing a Guardians of the Galaxy annual, a Miles Morales Spider-Man annual. So I have been getting the ongoing Iron Man series, but I don't know if that really matters for this annual. I doubt that it'll tie into the Iron Man series that much, because this issue is actually supposed to come out like a full year ago. It got delayed a whole bunch because of COVID. We see on the cover there, this is guest starring Quantum, who's choking Iron Man there. That is the character who's been experimenting on Miles Morales in his ongoing series. They cloned him and now he's dealing with that, but I guess Iron Man is taking things into his own hands. My assumption is that he's in possession of one of the stones, which is powering him here. I think it's the Space Stone, probably based on the color there. I'm excited to see how they roll it out, and I really don't know what to expect. So that's Iron Man Annual number 1. Alright, and then yes, another event book by Marvel this week. This is Heroes Reborn, issue number 5. So I've said it in previous videos, but I've been really pleasantly surprised by Heroes Reborn so far. They've been rolling these issues out weekly, but it hasn't felt like too much. I mean, that's probably because I haven't been getting any of the excessive tie-ins that they're putting out also. This one is written by Jason Aaron, and the art on this specific issue is by R.M. Guerra. I've never read any of his work, so I'm excited to see what the kind of art style is in here. I looked inside, and it's looking like it's kind of a gritty art style, which fits the character that they're exploring in this issue, which is, I think his name is Nighthawk. I'm not completely sure on that. There's so many different characters sort of related to Batman, and basically the idea behind the whole Heroes Reborn event is that this is a world, a changed Marvel universe in which the Avengers never came to be. They never had their origin stories, and instead the main superhero team is the Squadron Supreme. So Nighthawk is one of those members, and a lot of the Squadron Supreme are based off of the Justice League. You can clearly tell that they're sort of ripping them off. You know, they're unique in their own ways, and this Heroes Reborn separate universe where things are a little bit different has been really cool to see explored so far in this event. So I'm excited to read this Nighthawk issue. We'll see what they can do with it. That's Heroes Reborn issue number 5. Alright, now we can calm it down just a little bit with the rest of these Marvel issues. They're just issues of ongoing Marvel series. So the first one that I've got here is the Immortal Hulk issue number 47 of 50. Marvel just recently officially announced that the Immortal Hulk is ending at issue 50, even though it had been rumored and pretty much confirmed before that anyways. But Marvel also just announced the next creative team that's going to be taking over after the end of this series. It's going to be Donny Cates on writing and Ryan Ottley on art, which is an absolutely killer team. And I'm excited to see what that creative team can do, but I'm also excited to see how Joe Bennett and Al Ewing can wrap up their run on Immortal Hulk. But the cover here by Alex Ross, you can see that Hulk is going against the Avengers in this issue once again. That already happened, I think, in an earlier issue of this series. It was like issue 7 or 8 or something like that, so it has been a while. But they confronted him at the end of last issue. It's always good to see a good showdown, and I feel like this series has been kind of lacking in just straight up brawls with Hulk versus other characters, and he's recently been restored to his full strength and full Hulk form after being in this deformed little child Hulk form for so long. So I'm excited to see just a straight up Hulk fight against the Avengers, all leading up to this issue number 50. We'll see how they can wrap this up before Donny Cates takes over. So that's Immortal Hulk issue number 47. Alright, and then on to the Spider-Man segment of this video. I've got 2 different issues, basically Spidey's 2 ongoing series. The first one here is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 67. So Amazing Spider-Man is going weekly in June. They're putting out these clone conspiracy issues, that whole story arc, all in June before Sinister War, the big Spider-Man event starting in July, starts up. But of course there's still some pretty big stuff going on. This is an oversized issue to kick off this story arc. That's a super cool cover by Mark Bagley with Chameleon being half of the face and Spidey being the other. But the art on this issue is by Marcelo Ferreira. It's written by Nick Spencer, of course. and we got some pretty big revelations last issue. I won't get into too much spoilers, but Betty Brant showed up, who hasn't been in the series in a long time, one of Peter Parker's old friends, and we got another big twist with Kindred involving Harry Osborn. Is he really Kindred or is he not? We'll see how they can deal with that in this issue and expand leading into Sinister War. So that's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 67. Alright, and on to the final issue that I've got this week, another Spider-Man title. This is NonStop SpiderMan issue number 3. So the whole idea behind the series is that it's non-stop action, non-stop craziness, with Spider-Man swinging around, fighting people, and plot progression throughout the whole thing. So with the first issue, I think they really captured what I want from a Spider-Man comic. Of course, it was pretty exciting because that's the idea of the series, but there was also a good amount of jokes. And then the second issue honestly wasn't my favorite. I think it kind of didn't go with the idea of the series, and it was a pretty slow issue. I guess some stuff did happen, but it was really dialogue heavy. But this one is written by Joe Kelly with art by Chris Bachalo. The art has been sort of a high point and sort of a low point at different times in this series. Chris Bachalo's art style is really jumbled and pretty insane, but I think the colorist does a pretty good job of handling it so that you can tell like what is actually going on in the artwork. And the series has been following some sort of new drug that has popped up in New York and is affecting some of the youth. It's affected somebody that Peter was friends with in the college that he goes to. So he's investigating. Baron Zemo is getting involved in the background. It's actually been a while since this book has come out also. I think this issue actually got pushed back like a good long while. So it's been a long time since I've read this series. I hope that they can step it up in this issue because the last one really wasn't my favorite. So I'm still looking forward to it. I think they have a lot of places they could go with this, and I'm looking forward to Spider-Man coming face to face with Baron Zemo, who seems to be the actual main bad guy behind this whole series. So yeah, that's NonStop SpiderMan issue number 3. Alright, well that's every single one of the brand new issues that I picked up this week. I want to know what you guys got though. Let me know down in the comment section below. Let me know what your pick of the week was, if you read your issues already, or just which issue you were the most excited for this week. And also, if you enjoyed this video at all, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It's the big red button that's sitting right below this video. You can also hit the notifications bell, which is sitting right next to it. You'll be notified every single time I post a new video if you don't want to miss any. So that's everything from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye, guys.